Garcia and Roop promises to stand and deliver. The man with the better hand will win this contest in the cage.
He's a tough guy. He's durable. He brags about not being knocked out. Everybody knows I like to test everybody's chin, so I just feel like it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight.
Leonard Garcia is a walking highlight reel. Everybody knows of his big, nasty right hand. He deserves an opponent that's going to stand in there and bang with them, and I'm that guy. Everybody's going to be surprised when I'm the one knocking his ass out.
I'm definitely looking for the finishes this year, and the old Leonard Garcia is coming back. It's going to be a short night for George.
When I win this fight, then that just means I get to steal the thunder from him, and everybody's going to see that I belong here at the top of the featherweight division.
It's George Roop, born in Tucson, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, as he makes his way inside Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, George Roop fighting at 145, I believe is a much better weight for him. He fought his last fight at 135. He lost the decision to Eddie Widland and just looked like he cut too much weight. He didn't look himself, so I think 145 is his weight class.
That loss to Wineland back in January of this year, so he is trying to get himself back on track here in the WEC. A very tough fight for him because Eddie Wineland may be one of the best strikers we have, the former champion in the featherweight division. Eddie Wineland may be one of the best strikers in the WEC.
Yeah, definitely a rough introduction to the WEC, but hey, this guy fought in the UFC at 155, so, you know, he should be able to handle it.
So he is looking to make his name known here in the featherweight division. 28-year-old, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, trying to get a win in the WEC, which would be his first. He brings in some advantage here. He's not a short young man, and he's got an excellent reach.
Gosh, it's 6'2", is it? 6'2", 145 pounds, and he made 135 before. That's just incredible. Yeah, he's going to look to stand up and bang. He's got a decent ground game, but I believe him. Some guys say that, and they just go for the takedown the whole time, but I believe he's being honest, and he's looking to stand up and bang with Leonard Garcia and try to get fight of the night and try to put on an exciting show.
So George Roop now inside the cage in the featherweight division, bumping up 10 pounds, and will it be the difference for him in proving to be victorious? There he is, Leonard Garcia, born in Plainview, Texas, now fighting out of Lubbock, has one of the most lethal right hands in the WEC. But if you're George Roop, you're bumping up into the featherweight division. That's a crowded division with a lot of talent.
Yeah, it really is. And Leonard Garcia is one of the toughest guys in that division. Definitely one of the hardest hitters in that division. Boy, could he throw that right hand.
Just ask our good friend Jens Pulver and many others. He ran into trouble, though, after that loss back in March of '09 to then champion Mike Brown. And then he had a win over Jamil Masu, but then his most recent fight, a setback to Manny Gamburian.
Yeah, and that was one of those rough-type losses to Gamburian, where Gamburian pretty much would take him down, not do too much. And Leonard likes to fight. He likes to be in battles, wars, and that wasn't his type of fight at all. Keep in mind, he knocked out Victor Estrada in WEC 1 back in 2001. Now here we are at WEC 47. He's back on the card for his 7th appearance here at the WEC cage.
And he does have some talent in his corner. He is a pro-level boxer. He's got Donald Cerrone, Cub Swanson, some guys that work with him. So you know he's a good all-around fighter. The difference tonight will be basically in the geometry. George Roop is much taller, has a much longer reach. We'll see how that pays off. But Leonard Garcia, you always got to be looking for that big right hand that he cocks and just lets go. So it's Garcia and Roop in the featherweight division as we take a look at the tail of the tape. Leonard Garcia, 30 years of age, 5'10", his weight 145. George Roop, 28 years of age. He checks in officially at 6'1", his weight just a half pound heavier, and there you see the reach advantage. Right now we go inside the cage. That is where Joe Martinez has our official introductions.
And now, fight fans, here we go. This attraction is scheduled for 3 rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, his style, jiu-jitsu and kickboxing. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, he weighed in 145 1/2 pounds. His professional record, 10 victories with 7 defeats. And joining us tonight from Las Vegas, Nevada, here is George Roop. Next, his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu artist, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall. Official weight, 145 pounds. A veteran inside the cage, he brings 17 victories and 5 defeats. Fighting out of Lubbock, Texas, here is Leonard Bad Boy Garcia. Referee in charge of the action, Kevin Mulhall.
Okay, you guys both know your rules. Obey my commands at all times. Defend yourself at all times. When the bell rings, bring it.
So we are set to go in the featherweight division. Leonard Garcia taking on that man, George Roop. We're scheduled for 3. And the featherweight division of the WEC, Stephen Bonner, as you know, it is always explosive. Rarely do we have one of those fights that, you know, the fans get uptight, start booing and say, oh, more action. These guys only know one speed.
No, and these guys, I mean, I like watching Leonard Garcia a lot. He's one of my favorite 145ers because he likes to bang. He likes to go to war. And he likes them hard, dirty, bloody, tough, gritty fights. He actually probably prefers that over a quick one. He's a crazy guy. Good hard low kick. And, you know, fighting a tall guy, that's one of your better weapons. So work on those long legs. Try to chop him down. Try to slow him down a little bit.
Inside kicks coming from George Roop.
Yeah, Roop answering.
And one thing I've noticed, with Roop, and I apologize for stepping there, one thing I noticed with George Roop is a lot of times he seems to lose his advantage in height, the way he boxes, the way he bends over, hunches over. Frank Mir pointed that out to me a while ago, and he takes that 6'1", 6'2" advantage of his, and the way he postures over, it really brings his chin down to the level of Leonard Garcia.
Well, also not just crouching, but notice where his head is in relation to his front leg. The more your head's over your back leg, the more you're able to use your reach, and he kind of loses some of that reach by fighting over his front foot, but he looks like he is trying to use that jab. Beautiful takedown over a missed right hand. Threw a big overhand right, missed, and went right to that takedown. That was nice.
Caught Leonard Garcia off balance momentarily, so now it goes to a ground game more. Garcia working off his back from the cage.
Looking for that guillotine.
Yeah, and he does. He's got it in pretty tight, too.
In trouble. And, I mean, that is a long neck to go after. That's a good strategy. I'm sure that was part of the game plan with Greg Jackson, was to attack that long neck, attack those long arms if it went on the ground. But Leonard has to be careful not to burn out his grip. The guillotine is one of those moves that sometimes it doesn't have to be sunk in all the way, but you could just squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and get it. But the problem with that is, if you don't get it, you're in trouble.
The amount of energy you've exerted to get it.
And sometimes you make a conscious decision in there, like, should I go for it, should I squeeze it? Once you decide to squeeze, you want to keep going, keep going, keep going, and sometimes that'll come back to bite you in the butt.
And Roop is able to slide out of the choke, so he is back in control right now, but Leonard Garcia still trying to load up that big right hand, even from his back.
Yeah, Leonard doing a good job. He's got one overhook, keeping his head close to George's, pulling the head down so George can't get posture and really rain down any big shots. And George, being so long, should really just look to use elbows here in the guard. Having those long arms being down on your knees like that makes it harder to land good punches. See, and now he's standing up. Now he could rain him down. This is, if you're a tall fighter, where you want to be doing your ground and pound from. So great job right now from George Roop.
Roop trying to posture up, rain down some leather. Leonard Garcia trying to retaliate with a possible up kick, and Roop goes back down and closes the distance.
Yeah, Leonard was looking for that triangle there. Roop did a good job of staying out of it. Almost fell into it.
Looked like for a moment there he was going to go for side control, but he goes back. Garcia now trying to work his way through the attack of George Roop.
Leonard staying active. He got the hook inside. He used that to push and stand up. And now Roop's getting his back. Leonard back to his feet. Nice
Wow.
Yeah,
Leonard Garcia doing a great job there of using the cage not to give up the back, almost peeling Roop off his back.
That's exactly what you got to do. That's how you got to think of it. Peel your opponent off you by using the cage. So Garcia back to his feet. Look at him. He just, I could tell, he just wants to land that right.
He's loading it up, isn't he?
And they say at Jackson's he's like the hardest hitter. Even it's harder than some of the big guys like Rashad and St. Pierre, I've heard. And he throws that right hand kind of like Roger Clemens throws a fastball. He puts everything into it. In his fight with Masui, he threw it so hard he fell down.
Threw it there, just missed, shook his head in disgust over that punch, thinking I should have had him there. You notice one thing with Leonard Garcia, though, he's always on the balls of his feet. Always kind of moving, prancing on the balls of his feet. You like that stance, or does it get him in trouble with balance?
You know, some guys say when you're up on your toes like that, you don't get the same power in your punches, but when he throws that right hand, he does sit his weight back down on his heel, then pushes off. So he is up on his toes, but when he punches, he does sit down. That's why he's able to hit so hard.
Final 15 seconds here of round number one, and here comes Garcia with a combination. He stunned Roop momentarily, comes back with another one. Roop firing his own shots. Under 5 seconds to go here in round number one.
Nice. Stiff jab by Roop. That's what he's got to use in this fight.
Great action in round number one in the featherweight division. Both men throwing great strikes. So Garcia initially has a submission attempt, but just was unable to close it out here,
Just right away tried to go for the guillotine and attack it, but you know, it's harder to get from there unless you're a guy like Joe Stevenson. A guy like Leonard Garcia, if he's going to land a guillotine, he'll probably be off a takedown, not when you're already down.
And here he is just winding up those big rights at the end of round number one. George Roop saying, bring it on, and I love what we're seeing so far. Neither man is backing down from the other.
Yeah, you saw Leonard land two big punches there, and Roop prides himself in his chin. We saw it right there. He smiled and said, come on, let's see what you got.
All right, wow. Fuck this motherfucker up. Hey, keep your hands up, stay focused. Let's go.
See Leonard laughing in his corner. He's just having fun in there. I remember his first fight in the UFC with Roger Huerta. He was just a great fighter himself. He was smiling the whole time.
Round number two in this featherweight bout, George Roop taking on Leonard Bad Boy Garcia. Very entertaining first round. If you had to give it to one of the fighters, who would you lean towards?
Geez, very, very close first round. I'd say Leonard probably landed the bigger punches just at the end there, but Roop had that takedown, and from the judges' point of view, they probably gave it to Roop for that. Usually that's the case. If it's a close stand-up battle and one guy gets a takedown and a little ground control, he's going to get the round. Nice low kick. Good way to counter.
Oh, he snaps that one off to the midsection of Roop.
Roop landed that stiff jab towards the end of the first round. You think being as tall as he is, around 6'2", 6'3", that would be his main weapon in this fight. Leonard again swinging for the fences.
He doesn't really implement a jab very often, does he? When he throws that right, it's with some bad intentions.
Yeah, he usually just throws that overhand, or he'll paw with that jab just to throw something in front of your face, just to get you to look at that left hand, then he'll come over the top with that right. Another nice low kick. You can see the welt on Roop's leg, it's getting red. Expect that to change a little more of a purple color if this goes another round.
And here it is, Garcia loading up the right again. He'll go with the left jab, and then he brings the big right. Roop tries to tie him up. Leonard Garcia wants nothing to do right now with that ground game. I think he feels like he can get this victory.
Yeah, Roop kind of tried that same thing he did in the first round where he threw that overhand, then went into the takedown. There he goes again. See, he brings that right foot behind, goes for that trip. But looks like Leonard's getting wise to it. He fell for it once, and he's trying not to fall for it a second time. There it is, pause with the jab, overhand right, beautiful counter by Roop. Now Roop's popping him with the jab and moving.
3 minutes to go here in round number 2. This one's scheduled for 3 in the featherweight division. Leonard Garcia with the black and green trim, and George Roop on the attack.
Just beautiful double leg, right? Usually with a height difference of about 8 inches, you don't see the taller guy get down on the legs of the shorter guy and do a double leg. You know, usually you take him down from a trip or from that step behind like he did earlier, but great double leg by George Roop.
Once again, Roop dropping his chin down there, and Leonard Garcia trying to get the choke in, but it looks like he's defended it well enough. He's got the angle.
Yeah, defends it again. A little easier defense this time. That's the thing. Sometimes you get wise to guys' moves in a fight, and you know, you're able to defend them a little better the second time around.
Roop's got Leonard Garcia up against the cage. Momentarily, Garcia had the closed guard, but he didn't want anything to do with the fence.
This looks a little tighter. You see, you notice the red tape on the gloves actually under the jaw. And I can't tell from this angle if he has the arm in or just the head. Now it looks like the arm might be in, which Roop should be able to defend, and he is. He's popping the head out.
It goes back to what you said in round number 1 of how much energy is Leonard Garcia exerting with those chokeholds.
Yeah, well, in the first round, it looked like he squeezed a little tighter. Now he's getting a little smarter. He knows he can't burn his arms out like that, and if it wasn't there, he didn't try squeezing as hard. Now he's really trying to get back to his feet, but look at Roop doing a good job.
Momentarily, and you saw what happened there. Roop came in with a knee, and that is a no-go in the WEC. When you've got an opponent on his knees, you cannot bring that in.
Let's see a look at that again. Leonard on the ground. Here comes that knee. Oh, that was right in the chest.
Hit him in the chest. So it was just below, but the official just letting him know. Leonard Garcia letting the official know.
Thank God he didn't take a point away from Roop for that, because that was a legal strike. You hate to see calls like that could affect the outcome of the fight.
Had that connected to the head.
Oh, big right hand by Roop. Wow, Leonard looked like he staggered a little and then shook his head and asked for more. So this is why I like to watch this kid fight. The harder he gets hit, the harder he fights. Both these guys got granite chins, and now they're slugging it out.
Leonard Garcia is feeling it now, fired up. He takes the sting of a George Roop left. Under a minute to go here in round number 2. This one's scheduled for 3.
Yeah, loading up a little too much. After you get hit like that, it's hard not to load up. You just want to hit your opponent so hard, so bad. Good switch kick by Roop. Looked like it was partially blocked by Garcia. There's that overhand again, and it looks like Leonard's losing a little steam. I wonder if he's getting fatigued. I wonder if those guillotine attempts are starting to take a toll on him.
Under 30 seconds here in round number 2. Roop continues to mix up his attack. Straight left coming from Leonard Garcia.
Nice stiff jab by Garcia, too.
Under 10 to go here in round number 2.
Almost landed the knee after that missed overhand right.
And we will see a third and final round in the featherweight division.
Jab, you switch the jabs up. You got to come with that 2-7. You hit him with that 2 and you fucking.
All right, let's take a look at some of the action from round number 2. And I'll tell you what, George Roop looked very good in round 2.
There's that counter right hand by Roop. It surprised me. Roop actually has been winning the striking battle, and there's that double leg from a taller guy, which, you know, you don't see that too much. And that's near the end of the round. That's the one that you see wobbled Garcia a little bit, but he smiled and asked for more.
Yeah. Real quick. Yeah. Good.
His corner very may well be telling him he needs to knock him out this round. He could very well be down 2 rounds to nothing.
Keep taking him down and hitting him.
Leonard Garcia with Donald Cerrone in his corner as we go to the third and final round in this featherweight division. Round number 1, a little tight. Round number 2, I think you definitely got to give it to George Roop.
Yeah,
both fighters ready to go as we start the third and final round.
Yeah, got to give round 2 to Roop. Round 1, a very good chance it went to Roop as well. That was a little closer. Let's see if Garcia tries to turn up the heat. I'm sure his corner told him he was down. You know, Jackson's really smart. He knows how referees score fights. The judges score fights.
And is this a situation now where Leonard Garcia becomes somewhat one-dimensional, knowing that big right's there? Does George Roop say, I just stay away from that right and I'm cruising home?
Yeah, you know, you never want to fight like that. You never want to assume I won the 2 rounds, now I can play it safe, just keep my left hand up, not get hit by that big shot, and I'm going to get the decision, you know, because, you know, you don't never know. That first round could have went to Garcia.
Leonard Garcia in the black with the green trim trunks. George Roop with the black with the stars and stripe. This is the 3rd and final round of the featherweight division bout between both these fighters, and George Roop really showing something in the 2nd round.
Nice, that almost landed, and if it did, that would have been the high part of the shin, which, that high part of the shin, that's how you knock someone out.
There's the big right coming from Leonard Garcia.
Another double leg, head right in the middle. Beautiful job by Roop. Good strategy too. If you're, you know, your little head, yeah, that's what you want to do, secure a takedown. You saw him use that cage to peel him off in the first round.
Right.
Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that. Roop's got his right leg around him. Hey, Leonard almost out of trouble, and they're back to their feet. Good job by Garcia. Now he's got to turn up the heat. Only about 3 minutes left in this round. In my opinion, he needs a knockout. And, that same overhand right. He's hit that double leg a couple times, so he puts his head down, kind of fakes the shot, and lands that right hand. Just great strategy by Roop.
Roop turns his back on Leonard Garcia, and he's going to pay a price for that. This time Garcia's got it in pretty deep, has to relinquish it, comes with a knee. And George Roop possibly getting a little casual there.
Goes for the big spin kick and laughs. Yeah, both these guys, big, good chins on them. I mean, both of them took some power shots, and they both keep smiling. And Roop looks so much better at this weight class at 145. I mean, he's got his power, he's got some snap in his punches, some bounce in his step. He definitely needs to stay here. I mean, he can make 135, but it's not good for him.
And that's the 2nd low shot from George Roop. The first time the official just warned him. This time,
5 minutes. You have 5 minutes.
Leonard Garcia says, I don't need the 5 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't too hard of a shot. You know it didn't hurt Garcia. He appears not to be hurt, but it's still a low blow. It's still against the rules. Oh boy, that's big. That is huge.
So 1 point deducted. Remember, we're on a 10-point must system.
Oh, that's accidental. It's so hard with that inside kick, too, to hit the cup. Wow, a very costly mistake for George Roop.
And now the confidence seems to be back into the hands of Leonard Garcia. He goes with an inside kick, and Roop says, that was a little high.
Oh, and he just landed a very hard outside kick there. I mean, Roop was stepping to his left, had all his weight on that thigh, and the meaty part of the shin bone, or the hard high part of the shin bone landed in that meaty part of the thigh. It was good counter right hand.
Final 90 seconds of this 3-round bout between Leonard Garcia and George Roop.
Yeah. Now they're going for it. Oh, see, Leonard got a little carried away with that right hand and paid the price. He does not need to be on his back with 1 minute left in a fight that, he could have been down, but now it may be even because of that point deduction.
Hey, 60 seconds, Roop. 50 seconds.
Under a minute to go here in the 3rd and final round. George Roop, Leonard Garcia.
Leonard back to his feet. Just needs to avoid letting Roop get his back, and he does. He's out the back door. Little time left.
So 3 times in this bout, Leonard Garcia has given up his back, and he has been fortunate not to have paid a stiffer price.
Yeah, 3 times he escaped.
Both corners imploring their fighters to give it up for the last 30 seconds. And here it is, the final 20 seconds of the bout.
Roop's done a great job in this fight, avoiding that right hand from Garcia, and actually landing his own. Oh, there's another big Superman punch by Roop, followed by a stiff jab. Both fighters land at the same time.
Final 10 seconds. Oh, and Garcia Garcia's bringing a flurry.
Garcia finishing strong. Another hard low kick. What a fight.
What a bout between George Roop and Leonard Garcia. Let's go back to the action from round number 3, where a point was deducted.
Here it is, Roop again with the double leg. This is the biggest difference in the fight. Leonard was not expecting this from Roop, for this tall guy to be able to get down, hit double legs on him, and Roop must have landed about 4 of them. Here's that groin shot, which cost Roop a point, and it all comes down to how those judges are going to score that first round. And he probably wouldn't have gotten that point taken away, just a warning, if the referee didn't think that shot was illegal.
We now go inside the cage. That's where Joe Martinez has our official decision.
I don't know.
And ladies and gentlemen, for 3 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Here are the judges' scoring totals. Judge Doug Crosby has it 29-27 for Roop. Judge Cardo Urso has it 29-27 for Garcia. And Judge Harry Heil scores the bout 28-28 for a split draw.
There's George, stay with us here. Leonard and George come in here after a hard-fought battle, 3 rounds for both of you. Where did you think the fight turned?
You know, it was just a fun fight. I don't know. Sometimes the judges score a takedown. Sometimes they score aggression standing up. I really don't understand it. I say let us go 1 more round and figure it out, you know?
And the fans in Columbus would like to see a 4th round. George, you had a sensational 2nd round. Did you think you had that fight won?
First of all, I'd like to say hi to my kids at home, Naya and Tristan. Yeah, I thought I had the fight won, you know. We can go another 2. Let's make it a championship round fight. I mean, let's give the fans what they want to see.
All right, Columbus, but you'll get a draw tonight.